What is going on, gamers? It's your boy, Andreic or Andrew, whatever you want to call me, and we're back at it again with our weekly Monday video for Rainbow Six Siege. And today we're gonna have something very interesting. I'm very excited to show you what it is. So, guys, in my past videos, as you know, we've gone over a lot of things when it comes to aim, how to play people, aiming software, but one thing we haven't done is just the basics. And so today, I just really want to go over the hardcore basics of Rainbow Six Siege for those of you that are really beginners. Now, of course, before we actually get into the real video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I mean, if you play Rainbow Six Siege, looking to get better, you're struggling with anything, make sure to subscribe because weekly I have a video that could possibly solve that problem. So please just make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I make these videos every week for you to help you get better. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Alright guys, so as you can obviously see from the title, we're going to be going over roaming and anchoring in Rainbow Six Siege. Now this is a very important mechanic to the game that everybody should know how to master. Now the reason I'm choosing this to do for the video is because, as you probably know, all my other videos are covering some other things, but this is just the core basics that I feel like I need to touch up on for those of you that really just started the game and just want to learn as much as you can. A lot of people think that this is just common sense, and I mean it is common sense, but there's a lot of players that still they just don't know how to do this right. They'll ruin it for their team. So this is why I just want to go over it to make sure everyone knows what they're doing. Now, for those of you that don't know, anchoring and roaming are things for defense. Now, anchoring is where a person sits close to objective and hold down the bomb or objective for their team. Now, on the other hand, a roamer is someone that goes around the map more than the anchors, and they're kind of their protection. They're supposed to stop people from coming in certain places. That is a basic understanding of what roaming and anchoring is in Rainbow. As simple as this seems, this goes a lot deeper in strategic things and a lot of other game core mechanics that people misunderstand when roaming and anchoring. These fundamentals can change from map to playstyle to a bunch of different things. It's not as simple as it seems. You may think, oh, you just anchor, just sit in OBJ. You may think it's roaming, you just roam around the map, but it's really more advanced than that, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. So the first thing I want to go over is anchoring, because anchoring is probably the simplest between the two. So when anchoring, as you know, you're going to want to sit around the objective or very close to the objective, especially if it's bomb. That's where you're going to be more of a flexible anchor, meaning you can go to certain rooms, but never too far away. Now the people I recommend anchoring are Doc, Rook, Smoke, Mute, and pretty much anyone else with an ACOG or a gadget that depends really badly on the site. Like someone you think that's a roamer, which is probably Legion, he's actually an anchor because of his goo mines. Sitting in objective and stacking those goo mines are really important to anchor. That's why he's an anchor. Now I've seen people that use people like Doc and Rook, which are 1 speed and 3 armors. People that are 1 speed and 3 armor are particularly anchors. I've seen people using Doc, Rook that'll just run around the map, and it's just, I'm like, it's just so dumb. If you're gonna play an anchor, it's gonna be a slow person with 3 armor and has a good gadget. Make sure to keep that in mind. This is what an ideal anchor's routine would be when the round starts. So let's say you pick an anchor, Doc. What you're gonna want to do is, if you're downstairs or anywhere like that, make sure to get your hatches. Now, a lot of people say, why would you get your hatches if you're the slowest player? Well, a lot of roamers will have their gadgets that they need to put down, and that takes a lot of time. So to get the hatches for them is really helpful, and you'll be able to do it before the prep phase. Next, as the round is starting, you want to know where you're going to go and where you're going to put down your stuff. So if you're Doc, let's say you have a barbed wire or something, make sure to put your barbed wire down, or if you have a deployable shield as Rook, make sure to put your deployable shield down. And the number one thing you want to do as an anchor here is hold an angle. Holding an angle as an anchor is the most important thing, because you have to remember you're the last line of defense. These roamers are protecting you, but if they can't stop the offense, you're there to hold that peak to the point where if they peek you, they put themselves in danger. That is the whole point of being an anchor, really. You need to make sure that the attackers cannot come in the last second when it matters most. Another important thing to consider when being an anchor is you need to be patient and you need to be able to focus. If you're someone that dozes off and just can't sit somewhere for a certain amount of time, then I recommend you be a roamer and not an anchor. When an anchor holds an angle, it's important that he focuses on that angle. I've even been a victim to this, where I would hold an angle and I think, oh, no one's gonna come through there, and I would doze off and think about something else. Next thing you know, the guy comes through the door and I get shot because I wasn't paying attention, which drastically reduces my reaction time. So when you're an anchor and you're holding an angle down, you want to make sure you're focusing really, really hard to keep that angle and make sure no one's gonna get in and kill your teammates. I know it can be hard to focus, and yes, playing an anchor can be very boring, but it's very, very crucial to a team to have someone as backup. Another thing that anchors really need to realize or perfect, and this is especially for dock players, when you're an anchor, you don't want to die early. You want to make sure that you're there for your team, because a lot of people will have something like a gadget that's really for the team. Let's say Doc. The reason why Doc is an anchor is not only because of his speed, but because he can heal people. So let's say your roamers get in a gunfight, they don't die, but they are very, very low. They need you to be Doc, so you can get their health. When you're an anchor, you want to make sure that if you spawn peek, which you can, spawn peek is not completely wrong. If you spawn peek, please do not die. Yes, it is good to use that ACOG to your side, but I've seen people many times, they play Doc, they spawn peek, and they die. And man, it costs their team so much, because now all of their roamers, not only do they lose a player, they lose an anchor, and they lose a healer. That's Doc's ability, is to heal, and it's just so crucial to the team. So conclusion here, guys. To anchor, you want to hold angles, use your gadget the right way, and play as team-based as possibly as you can. Okay, now we can go over roamers. Now roamers, as you know, are the people that surround the anchors. They're the people that stop the people from coming in. They're the people that help the anchors, which is why a lot of times anchors won't get many kills because they're playing supported. But the whole point of the roamers is to stop the attacking side from coming into the objective before your anchors can stop them. Now, one thing you want to know when roaming especially is what kind of operator it is and what you should use when roaming. So this is going to be the kind of the opposite of anchoring. When you want to use the roamer, you're going to want to use a 3-speed, probably 1 armor, or a 2-speed. Definitely not a 1-speed. The whole point of a roamer is to be fast and to be quick. Now, some operator examples of roaming would be probably things like Jaeger, Caveira, of course, people like Valkyrie. Pulse is sort of an anchor and a roamer. We have people like Visual and Ella. Mainly trap operators, or people that have their gadgets where once you put them down, you don't really have to stay in the objective, or you might have gadgets that work outside the objective, like Valkyrie's cameras. Or Visual, who even has an ability that can deceive drones. That's a big roamer type stuff. Same with Ella, because there's 3 speeds, they have good SMGs, and their abilities work on the roaming side of defense. Now, some things a roamer would probably want to do is, here's what I would see a roamer doing in a typical game. Your objective is to either flank the player, gather intel, or stop the push. These 3 things are what roamers do. This is the typical routine for a roamer in Rainbow. So the round starts, the first thing you want to do is put down your gadget. If you are a roamer that has an important gadget like that, make sure you put down your gadget. Then you're going to want to know where you want to roam. Now you can choose rooms around OBJ, you can even be close to OBJ, or you can be in a whole different part of the map. Now some gadgets I'd recommend for roamers are mainly nitro cells, because of course as a roamer, a nitro cell is very, very helpful. You can use it to kill multiple people during a plan. It can stop a lot of things. It's just a really big part of the game to have a nitro cell. Other things are barbed wire. Barbed wires are of course super good. One disclaimer for roamers out there is, yes, you are stopping the push, but this does not mean be super aggressive. There's people that'll play roaming and they will like literally go for runouts every single time. Yes, runouts can be helpful, and yes, you can catch them off guard, but that doesn't mean be aggressive. You have to remember, the whole point of defense is to get them to come to you. They are the ones attacking. You don't have to attack them. You can play time, just do anything you want to win. So when you're roaming, make sure you're stopping them, but make sure you're not pushing them. That's really important. I see too many people doing that, and it costs the round because it leaves the anchors defenseless. It's say like all your roamers die, you take a 2v5 with only 2 anchors, of course the other team's going to win because you guys pushed way too hard. The last thing I want to go over here for roamers is placement and knowing when to come back to objective. So when roaming, do not sit in a place that is pointless. You want to go to a spot on the map that you know people will come through, or is relatively close to the objective. Someone that's roaming like across the map does not know what they're doing, because if nobody comes there, guess what? The whole team's gonna rush another place, and the anchor's be like, "Where's my roamers? Why didn't you guys help me?" Because they're gonna rush an OBJ and they're gonna plant. So when you roam, make sure you're in a good spot that you know people will come to. And next, for objective, if you're roaming and you realize, let's say your other roamer dies, and it's a 3v2, right? Yes, you're roaming, but at this point, you need to come back to objective to help your anchor. Because at that point, 2 people in objective against 3 will win over someone roaming around the objective and 1 person in the objective. So make sure you get that down. So in conclusion here, guys, when roaming, just make sure you know how to play for the team and make sure you're helping out your anchors as much as you can. So this will be the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking by to the end. I hope you learned some stuff about roaming and anchoring and that you hopefully benefit from this. But anyways, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Make sure to like the video. Comment down your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I right? Just tell me what you think. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking by. As you know, I post every single Monday Rainbow Six Seige videos. These will all help you. So make sure to come by, subscribe to the channel, show some support. And yeah, as always, peace out.